Today, Teresa has very kindly chosen to share a story with us. So I'm going to stop speaking. I'm going to let Teresa take over. Thank you, Teresa.
All right. Some of you have heard this before, so I apologize if I'm repeating myself to those people. But this was one of those safety moments that, after the fact, it was it was one of those, in your gut feeling, you should do what your gut says. So this was a man that came to my door on a Friday night. I think you could play that video over what I'm doing if there's no
Okay.
sound.
For an hour.
But this man came to my door on Friday night. It's a quiet neighborhood. I live in a condo. He, um, I've been there 10 years in this area, and there's been no issues at all. People don't get their packages stolen, but sometimes we get our packages delivered to the wrong building. And my package was delivered to a building up the way a little ways in the condos that I could see on the Amazon alert that that's where it was. I could tell it wasn't my doorstep. It was that person's doorstep. And I had gone down to that person's house earlier this evening and saw their light on and knocked on their door, and they didn't answer. So I went home. But a few minutes after that, I got the doorbell rang, and we have a Ring video, as you can see. And the doorbell rang, and I thought, oh, it's them with my package. They saw me walk away. So I went down the stairs. My husband was at home. And I went down the stairs, and I saw this man through the top window in my door. And this wasn't my neighbor, but I thought, oh, it's probably DoorDash. People always leave DoorDash at the wrong door. It's hard to see the addresses at nighttime. And then just before I opened the door, I got this really weird gut feeling that this guy is going to bust into my house. And as I was opening the door, I resisted with my hand and my foot. He did try to push open the door. I slammed the door on him, locked it, and yelled through the window that I was calling the police. He then went around the car you can see behind him and tried to go to the neighbor's house. And I opened my door again and I yelled, "Get the F out of here. I'm calling the police." That yell alerted our neighbor, who was in their garage, which is right around the corner from where that person is. They heard me, went outside, and started yelling at this man also. In this picture, you can barely see it at the bottom on the left picture. He's got a fire extinguisher in his hand. And that's what made me, I couldn't see that from inside, but when I saw him walk away, I saw that fire extinguisher and knew that there was something going on. So it ended up that this man then broke into the next house down, the next condo, through the window at the top of the door, and used that fire extinguisher to do that. The neighbor saw him do that as they were yelling at him, "Get out of there." I was on the phone with the police. The neighbor was on the phone with the police. 4 different neighbors he tried to get into. The 5th one he broke into. They weren't home. They were moving. We knew that they weren't home. And he was inside that condo for like a minute, and he came out completely naked. So I was still by my door. My husband and I ran into our condo, locked the door. Other people stayed outside filming him, but most people went back into their condos. You know, the yelling and screaming at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night alerted people to this, and people were outside with us. But he directly came back to my house, and that's that video where he's naked trying my doorknob. And that was really scary. I don't know. I know the safety part here is trust your gut. Keep your doors locked. Don't answer the door to strangers. I did. I'm in a safe neighborhood. I felt safe. My husband was at home. It was a normal night, and I didn't trust my gut. And something bad, really bad, could have happened. This guy's not small. He could have pushed his way through. He could have hurt me and my husband. He could have had a weapon besides that fire extinguisher. And the second time, he could have just broken my window and broken in. So I couldn't control what he was doing, but I could have controlled what I was doing, and I chose wrong. I chose poorly. So the safety moment is trust your gut. So after yelling at him through the window and other people yelling at him, he heard the sirens, he ran away. The policeman got him in a bowling alley, of all places, about 4 or 5 blocks away. We fled into. They got the ring video, they used it. He's in jail. He had lots of priors, and he was on some kind of drugs, is what the police said. But that's my story. It wasn't as horrific as Gila's story that she shared, but and some of the other safety moments that we've had this week. But that was my little safety moment for everyone.
Wow. Okay, Teresa, that I've got so many questions. So, yeah, but that's how my brain works. It's like, okay, so did he run into the bowling alley naked? Did he get redressed? And and
Completely naked, no shoes. He walked through the broken glass with no shoes. He came out of the house.
oh,
He came out of the house and he had that fire extinguisher. That's all he had when he came out, and came
wow.
to my door, directly to my door. 2 doors down, he came directly to my door. I don't know why my door, but he came to my door.
Oh, wow. That's really scary. Well
Well,
done you for listening to your gut, right?
you
Well,
Um,
no,
also,
I didn't. I didn't listen to my gut. I should have listened to my gut. I
oh, I
listened at the
see.
very last second, but I could have talked to him through my door. And that's what, you don't have to be polite. No, nothing says that you have to be polite to somebody that you don't know that's outside your door. And I answered with, even though I saw it and felt it in my gut, I opened the door and go, hello, and then slammed the door on him. I should have yelled hello through the window. You don't have to, you don't have to open your door to talk to somebody. And so I didn't do the right thing. It ended up okay, but it could have been horribly different, terribly different than it was.
I will tell you this story. I live alone now, as everyone knows. I too am in a very safe, gated community. And I have a Ring doorbell as well. It's actually Blink, but I use that now because of this story, even though I'm in this very safe neighborhood, because it's a huge community and people do get through our gated community. It's not as secure as you might think. So I use my Blink to answer my door now. I mean, that's why we have it, right? So I can pick up my phone and, okay, I don't want your solicitation, go away, right? I don't have to open the door. And when my neighbor is there and I'm on the phone, I'm like, oh, hi, I'll be right there, right? You have started a different way that I answer my door. So thank you, Teresa. I don't
You're
want that
welcome. Yeah.
picture on the right
This
in my face ever.
No, no, it was horrifying. It was completely horrifying. And the Ring video shows up on our TV. We had our TV on. If we would have just waited another second, I would have seen that person with that fire extinguisher and talked to him through there. But it was just like one of those automatic, I just come back. I thought it was the neighbor. Oh,
Yeah.
it wasn't the neighbor. It must be Grubhub. Just automatic, and not taking that extra minute when somebody rings your doorbell. That doesn't happen very often in our community, probably in our world anymore. It doesn't happen very often that somebody's ring the doorbell that you're not expecting. We should have taken the minute and done that. So, but anyway, hopefully this
well,
helps other people too.
well, Teresa, it definitely has helped me. I actually I had a parcel delivered earlier and I was out. And my Ring doorbell battery is dead. So I couldn't see who was at my door. So I didn't answer it either. So that was fine. And there was nobody in the house. So, nobody answered the door. So it was fine. It was the middle of the day and it was a parcel and they left it on the doorstep and that's fine. But that's also another thing. We have a Ring doorbell in our backyard and also on our front door. And the backyard battery ran out couple of weeks ago, not done anything with that. The one on the front door, I probably will sort that, and I'll probably sort both of them now because of your story. So it's definitely a lesson learned for me. But yeah, although I would have a very angry Scottish man in this scenario, and nobody ever wants to deal with them. So
I don't
thank
know.
you.
I've met him. He's a nice man.
Yeah. Yeah, so well, actually, he's a very nice man after I show you a video at the end because I asked him at 11 p.m. last night. I said I wanted a video for the end of my call at 11 p.m. And then I said, oh, can we use AI? And And then he said, yeah, let's have a go. And then I was like, no, I don't like it. And then he went, okay, what do you want? And he just sat up and did it with me. So yeah. Anyway, so Teresa, sorry, that went off topic there, but thank you so much for this, because actually it is, and this is a home one, which is really important. You know, it's like your safety at home and things that people don't even think about. I wouldn't think about, I've got a glass partition next to my door, so I can actually look out of that, because let's be, oh, you haven't met me. I'm basically 5 foot nothing. I genuinely am actually 5 foot nothing. But I'm really tiny, and I would never be able to see in the peephole anyway. So I just open the door and hope for the best. But yeah, this is really enlightening. So thank you. Thank you for sharing your story with us.
Well, the other thing I have to think about here is that if I um, did not open the door and ignored him like completely, it might have been my house he broke into, because he broke into that place that nobody was home. So I don't know what scenario, I don't know which worse scenario is worse, which bad scenario is
Yeah.
worse, you know, answering it, not answering it, yelling at it through the window, pretending I wasn't home, any of those, the whole situation is bad. And whatever, I can't control what he did, but luckily it all turned out. So I think the video, if it's not playing all the way, it just shows him answering, trying the door, or I have to open the door and he tries to push his way through.
Okay, well, let's see if we can. Oh, here we go. We'll just watch this to the end.
Hi. Hi, I gotta come in.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Well done.
I closed it in time that as he was pushing, I was pushing. So if he was stronger, or if he used his strength, he would have been in my house immediately. There's no way I could have held him off, because he's a big guy.
That's really scary. And thank you very much. Thank you for sharing that with us. Definitely food for thought. I know I went